Ladies and gentlemen, in life, we are often conferences that reveal who we truly are. Every decision, every action, Marcus Aurelius said, is an opportunity to shape the person we are becoming. There is a version of you that is weak, fearful, and indecisive. A version that clings to comfort, avoids challenge, and avoids growth. Marcus Aurelius said, but it's time to put that version of yourself to rest. It is confront what makes you uncomfortable, Marcus Aurelius said, and to challenge your own limitations. You are the creator of your own path, Marcus Aurelius said. The struggle you face today will be the strength you carry tomorrow. Today, Marcus Aurelius said, you begin the journey of killing that weak versus true. The true, strong you can emerge. Marcus Aurelius said, embracing discomfort is one of the most important practices, the journey of self-improvement and personal growth. Marcus Aurelius said, it's easy to fall into the trap of seeking comfort, as human nature often gravitates toward ease and predictability. Comfort offers safety and stability, but it also breeds stagnation. Marcus Aurelius said, the path to becoming the best version of requires open in the unknown. Marcus Aurelius said, pushing against the boundaries of what feels comfortable and learning to gate discomfort as a natural part of the process. Motivational is precisely through discomfort that we are challenged to grow, to evolve. Marcus Aurelius said, and to develop the resilience needed to face life's comforts. When you embrace discomfort, Marcus Aurelius said, you challenge the very foundation of who you believe you are. Most live within a comfort zone defined by our daily routines, Marcus Aurelius said, our familiar surroundings and predictable experiences. This sense of familiarity can feel reassuring, Marcus Aurelius said, but it can also keep us trapped in a cycle where growth just unhindered. To move beyond this, Marcus Aurelius said, you must deliberately step outside this zone and allow your face things that make you uneasy. Marcus Aurelius said, whether it's a difficult conversation, tackling a new challenge at work, Marcus Aurelius said, or engaging in a physical activity that pushes your forces you to test your boundaries. The beauty of discomfort is that it reveals your true capabilities. Marcus Aurelius said, when you're in a situation where you feel challenged unseen, you often discover strengths you didn't know you had. Marcus Aurelius said, your initial reaction to discomfort might be to betray. You begin to build endurance and self-confidence. Marcus Aurelius said, each time you embrace discomfort, you teach yourself that you are capable of more than you ever imagined. Marcus Aurelius said, this repeated to discomfort strengthens your mental and emotion muscles. Marcus Aurelius said, making you more adaptable and resilient over time. Moreover, discomfort is a key ingredient for progress. Marcus Aurelius said, when you push yourself to do things that feel unfamiliar, you open the door to new opportunities for learning. Marcus Aurelius said, this could be in the form of acquiring new circumstances or overcoming fear and self-doubt. Every time you tackle something uncomfortable, you expand your capacity for future challenges. You're not only developing your skills, Marcus Aurelius said, but you're also learning to deal with the income with difficult situations. Stress, anxiety, and uncertainty, transforming them from obstacles for growth. Marcus Aurelius said, another vital aspect of embracing discomfort is growth doesn't come in a linear fashion. Marcus Aurelius said, there will be setbacks, moments of failure, and times when you question whether it's worth the effort. Yet, Marcus said, it is in these very moments of discomfort that true transformation occurs. Marcus Aurelius said, it's easy to feel defeated when things don't go as planned, but it's through these moments of struggle that we are shaped. Marcus Aurelius said, discomfort doesn't just build resilience, it teaches pains and persistence. Marcus Aurelius said, it teaches us that success is not always immediate, but the process is where the real lessons are found. Learning to embrace discomfort also means learning to embrace change. Marcus Aurelius said, change is inherently uncomfortable because you hate the familiar and take risks. However, it is through change that we learn to adapt, grow, and redefine ourselves. Marcus Aurelius said, "Discomfort is a reminder that life is constantly, that we must evolve with it, by accepting that discomfort is a necessary port of growth." Marcus Aurelius said, "You free yourself from the fear of failure and the anxiety unknown, and instead," Marcus Aurelius said, "you start to see challenges as opportunities, as opportunal." In the end, Marcus Aurelius said, "Embracing discomfort isn't about seeking suffering for its own sake. It's about understanding that discomfort is a powerful tool for self-discovery and development." Marcus Aurelius said, "It teaches you to confront your fears, face ultimately, to become more of who you are meant to be." Marcus Aurelius said, "Every time you push through discomfort, you are strengthening the person you are becoming." Marcus Aurelius said, "And that version of yourself will always be far stronger than the one who avoided it." Marcus Aurelius said, "Mastering your mind is the cornerstone of personal growth and the key in unlocking your full potential." Our minds are powerful, Marcus Aurelius said, yet they can be both our greatest asset and our great hindrance. The thoughts we entertain shape the way we see the world and, Marcus Aurelius said, in turn, how we interact with it. Whether consciously, our minds dictate our actions, our habits, and ultimately, Marcus Aurelius said, our destiny. To master your mind is to gain control of you and direct them in a way that serves your highest purpose. Marcus Aurelius said, "The first step in mastering the mind is under fury. The mind is constantly at work," Marcus Aurelius said, "filled with an endless stream of thoughts. Either of the thoughts are helpful, some are neutral," Marcus Aurelius said, "and others are destructive. The challenge lies, not every thought is true or worthy of your attention." Marcus Aurelius said, "Many of the negative and self-limiting beliefs we are simply products of our conditioning or fears." Marcus Aurelius said, "They do not define who we are, but they can shape who we become and dominate our thinking." To truly master the mind, Marcus Aurelius said, "You must become aware of these thoughts, and lean those that empower you and those that hold you back." Our self-awareness is a critical skill. By observing your thoughts without judgment, Marcus Aurelius said, you can begin to recognize patterns of thinking they limiting you for years. Negative thoughts about your abilities, doubts about your worth, Marcus Aurelius said, or fears of failure are all examples of the power to keep you stuck in a cycle of inaction. Once you identify them, you can begin to challenge them. Marcus Aurelius said, "The process of challenging these thoughts or validity. Are these beliefs based on facts, or are they simply fears and assumptions?" Often, Marcus Aurelius said, we find that the negative thoughts we hold about has no real basis in reality. Marcus Aurelius said, they are merely reflections of past experiences or fears the unknown. Questioning their legitimacy, you create space for new. Marcus Aurelius said, more empowering thoughts to take their place. This is the process of regramming your mind. Marcus Aurelius said, another key aspect of mastering your mind is learning your emotional responses. Emotions are natural, Marcus Aurelius said, but they don't have to dictate your actions. When you respond your mind, you learn to respond to emotions, rather than react to them impulsively. Emotions such as anger, fear, Marcus Aurelius said, or sadness can cloud judgment and lead to decisions that are basically feelings rather than rational thought. By practicing mindfulness and emotional regulation, Marcus Aurelius said, you can step back from the intensity of your emotions, decisions based on logic and purpose. Marcus Aurelius said, not just immediate emotional reactions. Mastery in cultivating a mindset of resilience and focus. Life is full of distractions, challenges, and setbacks, Marcus Aurelius said, and the ability to stay focused on your goals adversity is essential. The mind is often pulled in multiple directions, Marcus Aurelius said, but those who master their minds are able to direct their attention toward what truly matters. This requires discipline and a commitment to maintaining mental clarity. One effective way to build mental focus is through regular practice, such as meditation, journaling, or goal setting. Marcus Aurelius said, "These practices help quiet the noise of the world and comprehensional, focused thought." Marcus said, "The power of the mind lies in its ability to create reality. Our beliefs shape our actions, and our actions create the outcomes we experience. When you master your mind," Aurelius said, "you are no longer a passive observer of life. You become an active creator." Marcus Aurelius said, "The thoughts you choose to focus on will direct your energy, creating the life you desire." Marcus Aurelius said, "Instead of being at the mercy of circumstances, you learn to see your responses and actions in a way that aligns with your goals." Marcus Aurelius said, "The mind, when properly mastered, becomes a powerful toward success and fulfillment." Marcus Aurelius said, "Mastering the mind is not a one-time achievement, but requires patience, self-awareness." Marcus Aurelius, and a commitment to personal growth. However, the reward immense when you control your thoughts, emotions, and actions. Marcus Aurelius said, "You gain the freedom to create a life that reflects your true potential." The mind is an incredible instrument, and when harnessed, it can bring about profound transformation. Aurelius said, "Taking responsibility is one of the most transformative you can take in your life. It means acknowledging that." Marcus Aurelius said, "No matter the circumstances, you are the one who reasons your actions and your decisions." Marcus Aurelius said, "In a world where it's easy to blame others, external past events for the way things are," Marcus Aurelius said, "taking responsibility requires a shift in perspective. It is about recognizing that you are the author of your own story." Marcus Aurelius said, "And it is up to you to decide how you will face." When you take responsibility for your life, you empower yourself to take charge of your future. Marcus Aurelius said, "Blaming external factors or other people for your keeps you stuck in a cycle of helplessness." Marcus Aurelius said, "It fosters a mindset that you have no control over your senses, that you are a victim of life." But the truth is, Marcus Aurelius said, "While you may not be able to control everything you are always in control of how you respond." Marcus Aurelius said, "Your reactions to challenges, your choices, and your ears are yours to command." Marcus Aurelius said, "Taking responsibility is about stepping into that power. You are not a passive observer in your own life." Aurelius said, "One of the most significant aspects of responsibility, ownership of your actions and decisions." Marcus Aurelius said, "This means not only taking credit for your successes but also acknowledging your mistakes and failures." Marcus Aurelius said, "It's easy to feel good about your achievements, to want to bask in the glory of your hard work." Marcus Aurelius said, "But true growth comes when you are able to look at your failures with the same level of accountability." Marcus Aurelius said, "Instead of making excuses or shifting blame, you shake one wrong and learn from the experience." Marcus Aurelius said, "This doesn't mean being harsh on yourself or dwelling on messing them as lessons to inform future decisions." Marcus Aurelius said, "Taking responsibility also involves the courage to confront truths about yourself." Marcus Aurelius said, "It means being honest with yourself about your weakness, your limitations, and your habits." Marcus Aurelius said, "Many people avoid this kind of requires vulnerability and can be painful." However, Marcus Aurelius said, "It is only by facing the truth about who you are that you can begin to grow and improve." Avoiding responsibility means avoiding personal growth. When you take responsibility, Marcus Aurelius said, you commit to doing the inner work required to become better. You acknowledge that change starts with you. Marcus Aurelius said, and only by changing yourself can you begin to change your circumstances. Furthermore, Marcus Aurelius said, taking responsibility extends to how you treat others, but the impact you have on those around you. It's easy to blame others for misunderstandings or conflicts, Marcus Aurelius said, but owning your role in any situation allows you meet relations foster understanding, Marcus Aurelius said. Whether in your personal life or professional talk in responsibility for how you communicate, how you act, Marcus Aurelius said, And how you engage with others creates a foundationed respect. When you take responsibility for your part, Marcus Aurelius said, you not only improve your own life, but also petitumens those you interact with. Marcus Aurelius said, taking responsibility also means letting go of the need validation or approval. Marcus Aurelius said, it's about being secure in your own decisions to make the right choices. Marcus Aurelius said, when you stop seeking permission or approval from others, you become free to act based on your own values and desires. The responsibility lies in creating a life that aligns with who you truly are. Marcus Aurelius said, without waiting for external circumstances to tell you what to do or who to be. This acceptance also applies to the behavior of others. We cannot control people act, think, or respond to us. Marcus said, no matter how much we trying to manipulate change others leads to frustration and conflict. Instead, Marcus Aurelius said, we can choose to focus on how we respond to others' empathy, patience, and understanding. Marcus Aurelius said, by accepting the fact that others are entitled to beliefs and actions, we create space for healthier relationships based on mutual respect. Marcus Aurelius said, it's a freeing practice to let go of the need in order to feel better about ourselves. Marcus Aurelius said, in accepting people as they are, we also allow authentic and true to our own values. Marcus Aurelius said, another important element of accepting what you're impuring to the flow of life. Life is unpredictable, Marcus Aurelius said, and no matter how much preparing, we can never know exactly what will happen next. Sometimes, Marcus Aurelius said, the best thing we can do is allow ourselves stances as they come, rather than resisting them. Marcus Aurelius said, this doesn't mean being passive or indifferent. Things are simply out of our hands, Marcus Aurelius said, and that trying to force them into our desire leads to frustration. Marcus Aurelius said, by accepting life as it comes and adapting to its changes, we become more resilient and open to the opportunities that arise. Marcus Aurelius said, learning to accept the uncontrollable also fosters peace. When you stop fighting against the tides of life, Marcus Aurelius, stop draining your energy on things that cannot be changed. Instead, Marcus Aurelius said, you begin to conserve your mental and really matters. Marcus Aurelius said, acceptance allows you to let go of unnecessary series of the best possible life within the boundaries of what is in your control. It gives you the freedom to live authentically. Marcus Aurelius said, without the constant pressure of needing to control everything around you. Ultimately, Marcus Aurelius said, the practice of accepting what you can't control invites you to live with a greater sense of ease, clarity, and calm. Marcus Aurelius said, it's about embracing uncertainty, knowing that life will unfold in ways you cannot predict. Marcus Aurelius said, and trusting that you are equipped to handle whatever your way. When you focus on what you can control, your mindset, Marcus Aurelius said, your actions and your responses, you empower your fullest moment. By releasing the need for total control, Marcus Aurelius said, you open yourself up to the beauty of life, the future, that peace that comes from surrendering to it. Marcus Aurelius said, consistency over time is one of the most power-tying, long-term success and personal growth. Marcus Aurelius said, it is not the occasional burst of effort or of a terror that leads to meaningful change, but the daily, Marcus Aurelius said, consistent actions that compound over time. The beauty of consistency is that it transforms small, Marcus Aurelius said, seemingly insignificant efforts into monumental achievements, all because they are repeated day after day. Marcus Aurelius said, the key to realizing any goal, whether it's personal development, career success, or building meaningful relationships, Marcus Aurelius said, lies in consistently showing up and doing the work, even when the results are not immediately visible. Marcus Aurelius said, one of the biggest challenges people face is the quick results. In a world of instant gratification, Marcus said, it can be difficult to commit to the slow, steady pace that a state requires. Marcus Aurelius said, "We live in an era where success stories are often highlight achievements." Marcus Aurelius said, "But the truth is that most great accomplishments are your effort, persistence, and dedication." Marcus Aurelius said, "The process of consistency requires patience and idea-thought actions when performed regularly." Marcus Aurelius said, "Will eventually lead to significant progress. Consist is momentum. The more you repeat a behavior or action," Marcus Aurelius said, "the more automatic it becomes, and the easier it is what keeps you going even when motivation wanes." Marcus Aurelius said, "In the beginning, consistency might feel challenging, or there is often a desire to see immediate results." Marcus Aurelius said, "But it is precisely during these moments of uncertainty that consistency proves its value. It is the ability to keep moving forward, stay silent, doubts." Marcus Aurelius said, "Or lack of immediate progress that ultimately bring to consistency breeds discipline." Marcus Aurelius said, "It teaches you to stay focused on the long-term vision, rather getting distracted by short-term desires or instant rewards." Marcus Aurelius said, "This discipline becomes a guiding force in your life. You make choices that align with your goals and values." Marcus Aurelius said, "Whether it's waking up early to work on a project, exercising regularly to improve your health," Marcus Aurelius said, "or dedicating time to learning new skills, prioritize your commitments over temporary distractions." Marcus Aurelius said, "It's about making the daily decision to stay aligned with your larger purpose, no matter what immediate temptations might arise." Aurelius said, "The power of consistency is also evident in how it adds identity. When you consistently show up and do the work," Marcus Aurelius said, "you start to see yourself as someone who takes ownership and who is capable of achieving their goals." Consistency builds self-confidence because a track record of success, no matter how small the steps may seem. Over time, Marcus Aurelius said, "This reinforces the belief that you are challenges and creating positive change in your life." Marcus Aurelius said, "The small, consistent actions you take today become condition for the person you will become tomorrow." Another powerful aspect of consistency is its ability to build trust with others. Marcus Aurelius said, "Whether in personal relationships or professional endeavors, constancy is a key element of reliability." Marcus Aurelius said, "When you consistently show up for others, meet deadlines, you build a reputation for dependability." Marcus Aurelius said, "This trust is invaluable because it forms the basis for the relations and new opportunities." Marcus Aurelius said, "People are drawn to those who consistently demonstrate and row through on their commitments." Marcus said, "Creating a ripple effect of positive outcomes in the face of challenges or setbacks." Marcus Aurelius said, "Consistency provides the resilience needed to keep moving forward. Everyone experiences moments of doubt or failure." Marcus Aurelius said, "But the difference between those who succeed and those who give up lies in their ability to keep going." Marcus Aurelius consistency teaches you to see these challenges as insurmountable obstacles, but as opportunities to refine your approach on your path. Marcus Aurelius said, The ability to persist in the face of adversity, what separates who achieve their goals from those who abandon their dreams." Aurelius said, "In the end, consistency over time is a quiet but powerful force that shapes your life." Marcus Aurelius said, "It's not about grand gestures or short-lived bursiism. It's about doing the small things consistently and without fail, day after day. The more you commit to this practice," Marcus Aurelius said, "the more you build a life that reflects your deepened values. While results may not always be immediate," Marcus Aurelius said, "the compounded effect of consistent effort is what ultimately leads lasting change and profound transformation." Marcus Aurelius said, "Finding strength in adversity is one of the most transformative lessons you can learn in life." Marcus Aurelius said, "It is easy to thrive when everything is going well, when the world is aligned with your desires, Marcus Aurelius said. And when you're surrounded by comfort and stability, but truth is furred in the heat of adversity, Marcus Aurelius said. When life doesn't go according to plan, and when you are faced with obstacles that seem insurmountable, in those moments, when everything feels uncertain and difficult, Marcus Aurelius said, there is an opportunity to tap into a deeper well of resilience and strength that lies within you. Marcus Aurelius said, embracing adversity and finding strength in it isn't about avoiding or pretending that challenges don't exist. Marcus Aurelius said, it's about learning how to face difficulties with courage, growth, and the understanding that adversity, while painful, Marcus Aurelius said, has the potential to shape you into a stronger and more. Adversity comes in many forms: personal struggles, professional setbacks, health challenges, that lot shown one, or moments of self-doubt. In each of these circumstances, Marcus, the immediate instinct might be to resist or avoid pain, but in doing so, you miss the chance to grow and evolve. Adversity, Marcus Aurelius said, when faced head-on, forces you to confront your assumptions and re-evaluate your priorities. Marcus Aurelius said, it can be a wake-up call that shakes you and pushes you toward deeper self-awareness. Marcus Aurelius said, the key is to recognize that every hardship is a do your character and resilience. Marcus Aurelius said, one of the most profound ways adversity strengthens is helping us discover our true capabilities. When you are faced with a situation that pushes you to your limits, Marcus Aurelius said, you quickly learn how much you are capable of overcoming. Before adversity strikes, Aurelius said, it is easy to assume that your limits are set on, but when you are forced to confront a difficult situation, Marcus Aurelius said, you realize that you have more inner strength than you believed. Whether it's surviving a health crisis, Marcus Aurelius said, dealing with a loss, or handling a major life change, you tap into reservoirs of strength, patience, Marcus Aurelius said, and perseverance that you might not have known existed. These experiences shape you, making you more confident in your ability to handle challenges. Adversity also provides clarity about what truly matters in life. Marcus Aurelius said, when everything else seems uncertain, or when you are forced to deal with life's harsh realities, Marcus Aurelius said, you often begin to see what is truly important. Material, official achievements, Marcus Aurelius said, and fleeting pleasures fade into the background, while the things that genuine meaning to your life come into sharper focus. Marcus Aurelius said, whether it's the relationships you value, the seas you feel in your work, Marcus Aurelius said, or the inner peace that comes from knowing you are who you'll be, it helps you prioritize what truly matters. In this sense, difficult times often act as a mirror, Marcus Aurelius said, reflecting back to what you hold most dear, what your actions with your deeper values. Through adversity, you also develop a sense of resilience, the ability to bounce back from setbacks. Life is unpredictable, and challenges are inevitable. Marcus Aurelius said, what defines those who overcome adversity is not the absence of setbacks but the capacity to recover from them. Marcus Aurelius said, resilience doesn't mean never feeling pain or disappointment. It means the strength to rise again after falling. Marcus Aurelius said, to learn from failure and to keep moving forward with nation. Each time you face adversity and come out the other side, you build your resilience, becoming better equipped for the next challenge. Marcus Aurelius said, this cycle of challenge and growth ultimately is your mental and emotional fortitude. Marcus Aurelius said, another key aspect of finding strength in adversity is the ability to develop empathy and compassion for others. Marcus Aurelius said, when you have faced difficult times in your life, you can relate to others who are going through their own struggles. Marcus Aurelius said, this shared understanding creates deeper connection. You can offer support, guidance, and encouragement based on your own experiences. Marcus Aurelius said, adversity teaches you the value of vulnerability. It shows that it's okay to not have all the answers, Marcus Aurelius said, to admit when you're struggling and to seek help when you need it. In turn, Marcus Aurelius said, this vulnerability helps to foster a sense of community. As you realize that we are all in this together, Marcus Aurelius said, and no one is truly alone in their hardships, for it often leads to personal transformation. Marcus Aurelius said, the challenges we face can be catalysts for significance in our lives. They force us to adapt, learn new skills, Marcus Aurelius said, and develop new ways of thinking. This transformates self-discovery as you realize strengths, talents, Marcus Aurelius said, and perspectives that you hadn't previously recognized. Marcus Aurelius said, adversity has the power to push you out of your union, use you to grow in ways that would have been possible without it. It acts as a forge that molds you into a more complete, whole individual, ready to take on new challenges with even greater resilience and insight. Finally, Marcus Aurelius said, finding strength in adversity is an ongoing process. Is it something that happens overnight? Marcus Aurelius said, nor is it something that is fully realized in a instance of hardship. Marcus Aurelius said, it is the accumulation of moments in which you face difficulty with courage, the ability to persist through struggle, and the willingness to learn from every setback. Marcus Aurelius said, it is about adopting a mindset that views challenge as opportunities for growth and transformation. Marcus Aurelius said, the more you embrace adversity, the stronger and more powerful you become. Each time you face a difficult situation, Marcus Aurelius said, you emerge a little wiser, a little stronger, and more equipped to handle whatever comes next. In the end, adversity is not something to fear or avoid. It is something to embrace. Marcus Aurelius said, it is the crucible in which our character is refined and our potential is realized. By finding strength in adversity, Marcus Aurelius said, you transform challenges from sources of fear into opportunities for growth. You become a stronger, more resilient, Aurelius said, and more compassionate person, ready to face whatever lies your way with courage and confidence. In the end, Marcus Aurelius said, adversity is not a force that can defeat us. It is a teacher, a guide, and an opportunity for growth. Marcus Aurelius said, when we choose to face life's challenges head-on, rather than retreating or resigning ourselves to defeat, Marcus Aurelius said, we unlock the strength within us that we never knew existed. We learn to rise every time we fall. Marcus Aurelius said, to see obstacles not as barriers, but as stepping stones of greater and resilience. As we embrace adversity, Marcus Aurelius said, we become more than we ever imagined we could be, stronger, wiser, and more compassionate. Remember, Aurelius said, the hardest times are often the ones that shine to our best selves. So, when adversity knocks on your door, Marcus Aurelius said, greet it with courage, knowing that on the other side of struggle lies transformation. Marcus Aurelius said, let us walk forward with the belief that no matter what comes our way, Marcus Aurelius said, we have the strength to overcome it and emerge stronger than ever.